Hello and welcome to our latest edition of Toilet Paper Tube Tutorials. My name is Julie Dries. I'm the children's librarian at the Harrison Township Public Library, and today we are out in my garden because we are going to be recycling toilet paper tubes and doing some seed starting, making little planters to start our seeds in them. Right now it's a little chilly to start planting things out in the garden, but it is the perfect time to get some seeds started at home. Usually when I garden, I go to the garden center and I buy the already started little plants that are in the pots. But I decided that this year I'm going to try it from scratch. So I invite you to join me and we'll see if we can get some things growing in the house this year before planting season begins. So the materials that you will need for our project today. Of course, you'll need toilet paper tubes because we're going to make a whole bunch of these. I'll show you how to make a couple today. You can make as many as you would like. So gather some of those. Toilet paper tubes or paper towel tubes work just as well. I've grabbed kind of a little tray here and put some pea gravel from my garden in there. You can use like a Tupperware container, anything that you have that you can set your tubes in when you're done. You'll need a pair of scissors, a Sharpie or some kind of a marker, a spoon, some seeds. We've got some seed packets here. On the back of the seed packets, it will tell you how soon you should start if you're starting your seeds indoors. And most of the ones that I have here today are between 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. You can start them inside, or 5 to 7 weeks. So our last frost here in zone 6, here in the Detroit area, usually is towards the end of April. So if we start these guys, at the end of March, we can probably plant towards the end of April, beginning of May. It should be nice enough for that. So just take a peek on the back. Some of the things I have here, there's tomatoes, lettuce, zucchini. Zucchini's a little bit later. It says to start these inside 2 to 3 weeks before the last frost. Let's see, some kale, peppers, Hungarian peppers, got some broccoli, some cauliflower, some red bell peppers, and some jalapeno peppers. I think we'll do some tomatoes today to start, so I'll keep my tomato seeds out here. All right, here's what we need to do for our project. So you can get your toilet paper tube, squish it down flat, and you are going to cut your toilet paper tube in half, okay? So you're going to end up with 2 half tubes, and we're going to deal with 1 half at a time. So, you have your half tube. The first thing we want to do is squish it down flat one way, okay? And then you take your scissors and you're going to cut up probably about a good 1/2 inch into the fold right there that you've made. And then you're going to flip it over, and into the fold on the other side, you're going to cut the same distance, about 1/2 inch up. Then we're going to take the toilet paper tube and we're going to fold it the other way. So you press in the size that you've just cut and fold it this way. Okay? Now you've got 2 more points where you folded. You're going to cut up 1/2 inch on both of those sides now. So make our cuts and our cuts like that. Okay? Now, once we have that done, if you unfold it, you will see that we now have a box because we've made 4 creases in it. So instead of a tube, it's box shaped. Okay? This would be a good point before we start folding and turning it into a little container. This would be a great time to take your Sharpie, your marker, and write on the side here what you're going to be planting in it so you can keep track of your seeds. For example, I did this one. This is going to be my one that I'll put some tomatoes in. So go ahead and write that down. And then I'm going to show you how to turn this into a little box. All right. You want to take, you have little flaps on the bottom here. And I'm going to take them and bend them out, fold them outward. Okay. So can you see how I did that? So I've got these little flaps. Now I want them kind of loose because I'm going to be playing around with them. So I'm going to take them and kind of wiggle them, fold them in and fold them out a couple of times each. In and out, in and out, in and out. That's just going to make it easier for us to do our next step. So now we're going to fold up the bottom of our little container like you would a box if you were going to fold a box, where you take and you fold one and then you overlap the second one, then you overlap that one, and then your very last one tucks in to the first one. So, like that, okay? See how they all tuck into each other? And when you're done there, what we have is a little container here. There's our tomato container. Okay, it's a little box. So I can just put it right there on my pea gravel. And I've made a couple of other ones. Made one here. Made one for some broccoli. So continue making and folding these until you have as many as you would like. And then we're going to take our soil, grab our spoon, and we're going to fill up one of our little containers here. Okay, so we've got some soil in there now. So once you have some soil in, it's time to plant our seeds. So let's take out some tomato seeds here. And they're very little, so we don't want to lose any. I'm going to put a couple of them in here. And when they start to sprout, you can thin them out. If there's any weak ones, you can take them out. So put a couple of seeds right inside of there. Can you see? We've got some seeds in there. We'll take a little bit more of our soil mix here. Put a little bit more soil on the top. Not too much. Just a little bit. There we go. And then we'll take our water bottle. We'll mist these guys. You don't want to flood them, just get them a little damp. And repeat those steps for all of your little pots there. Once you have them filled up, you can take your tray, bring them inside, find a nice warm place. Make sure that you give them a little spray and keep them a little bit moist, and you'll see that hopefully soon they start to sprout. And when the weather gets warm enough, after the last frost, come out to your garden in the end of April, in May, whenever you've got some nice little plants growing there. Plant them outside, and hopefully you will eat well this summer. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.